What's up, everyone, and welcome to another holiday-themed edition of Where Does Food, a food history podcast that tells you the history of food. I'm one of your not food historians, Elle.
And I'm your other, for sure, food historian at this point. I've been doing this for a year, baby.
Okay, all right.
I got my, what do they call that when they just give out degrees for being honorary? I got my honorary food historian degree from a university. You don't get to know the actual university. A university. I'll post a picture of it.
Prestigious university.
A prestigious one. It's one of the good ones. And they were like, wow, Tim, you've done such good work on that show that you do, even though you only do half of the work. So here's your honorary food historian degree.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
I guess mine got lost in the mail. Anywho, today.
Well, they said yours is, since you're a woman, it's coming later.
It'll be coming later. It never comes.
I'm kidding.
Wah, wah, wah. Today, I'm pretty excited about this. We're talking about an excellent holiday libation. We're talking about eggnog.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that.
Could it not?
Thing.
How could I not? Tim, how do you feel about eggnog?
I love eggnog.
You scramble for it in the holiday season?
Yeah, shut up. That's a good one.
Thank
I
you.
like that one.
Thank you.
I do. The moment it's on the shelves, I punch the nearest person next to me. Child, old person, fit person. I'm like, get the fuck away from my eggnog. And they're not going for the eggnog. There's plenty of it on the shelves. But I gotta fucking make a statement.
You gotta let them know that you're not messing around.
This is my fucking eggnog.
It's your
Back
time.
off.
Do you have a preference for eggnog, like a specific eggnog brand, or?
Southern Comforts.
You know what? You are not the first person this week that has told me that Southern Comfort has phenomenal. Colin was telling me that it's phenomenal. Yeah.
It's the best eggnog on the market. It comes non-alcoholic, so anyone can buy it. And you can add your whiskey later. But yeah, it's great.
Noted.
It's
okay,
great.
I might have to try it.
It's easily the best. It's just not even close. I can't remember. I don't know when they released it, but the first time I had it was in 2014. And I haven't missed a year since.
Okay. So it's a now tradition for you. Okay. All right, I might have to try the SoCo eggnog. I didn't realize.
My good. Oh, it's just so fucking good.
Apparently there's a moonshine eggnog. I'd be curious.
Okay, I'm not that interested in moonshine. No, I don't like moonshine like that. No one should. It's a bad alcohol. I don't know why anyone acts like it's not.
They have decent flavors now, right?
Sure, but it's still a shit alcohol.
It's like Everclear.
Yeah, it's bad alcohol. You can
you
can make Everclear not taste like Everclear, but it's still bad alcohol.
Oof.
I would rather I'd rather use a good whiskey or something. Not a great whiskey, like a decent one.
Okay.
You don't need to waste, you don't use high-end whiskeys on cocktails and mixes. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. If you're going to spend a lot of money on a whiskey, just like sip it. But
just get the whiskey, yes.
Get like a mid-tier. Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, that's a good tip. That's a good tip for your holiday eggnog, with or without alcohol.
It's a good tip for most alcohols, I would say. If you're going really high tier, what are you doing?
Why are we mixing
Diluting
that?
It.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Taken away from it. Okay, yeah, that's Tim's tip for the evening.
Tim's cocktail tips.
Cocktail. All right, we'll get the book deal going soon.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep it simple tonight, Tim. Eggs usually come in a dozen. Sometimes they do 18. Sometimes you got the 24. But today,
sometimes you got them fucking massive, like 42
great
counts.
fools. Yeah. A whole pallet jack.
Yeah, those fucking eggshelves that we're walking on these days. Those bad boys.
So yeah, out of 12 of those eggshells, how would you rate eggnog?
Damn. I gotta be harder on foods, Elle.
Yeah, you do whatever you want, Tim.
You know what? I am gonna be harder
on
food.
Okay.
First of all, I'm gonna be. Just know this is a superficial low number because I fucking love eggnog.
Oh,
and if I had the choice, I would come out the gate. 12 eggshells, like easy, like no cap, just easy.
12 out of 12.
I'm gonna go 8 though, and you're at the work. You're at the work up to the 12.
I was about to say that's 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8. The reason being
2/3. Okay.
I got to weigh it out, right? I got to weigh it out because it's one of those things, and I should have done this with Thanksgiving. It's one of those things where I really only like it in the right time.
During this time.
Like Yuletide, like holiday time. And I finished Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, we all got through Thanksgiving. And yeah, when I got done with Thanksgiving, I sort of realized like, I was like 3 days in on leftovers. I was just like, I don't want this anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want this.
Yes.
I was like, you know what? I don't want this for a whole year. If I didn't eat another dollop of cranberry sauce for an entire year, I'd be okay.
I'll be okay.
And so I should have weighed Thanksgiving dinner, but that's in the past and it's a perfect food, so I can't ever change that. But I'm gonna do it with eggnog.
Okay.
I really, really love it when it's on the shelves. When it comes on the shelves, like I said, I punch children. But like,
you want to go out of your way to make homemade eggnog on a May day?
Not out of season. Not out of season.
That's a great point. I think that's a good caveat for this. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I don't think you have eggnog at any other time of the year except this time of the year.
Yeah,
otherwise,
pretty much.
Yeah.
And I would even say I definitely can go into January with it just because it's pretty. It gets really chilly and
yeah,
it's just a nice like
good way to warm up.
Like comforting, thick kind of like. I almost exclusively have it with alcohol now because I have issues. And I really love that warmth that it provides. But I'm gonna go with 8 to weigh it out because I think since it's not a year-round thing.
Okay, that's a fair. I think that's a fair grading of eggnog, and I'm gonna try and earn the other third of that.
Hey guys, welcome to the ad section. I'm here to tell you real quick about Anchor by Spotify. You may have heard us talk about Anchor at the end of our episodes, is because Anchor is the platform we use to distribute our podcasts. It's totally free. It helps us distribute our podcasts to different platforms. That's how we're on Apple Podcasts. That's how we're on Google Podcasts, CastBox, you name it. They've helped us do that. You can record directly on the app, on the webpage. So you don't even need a super fancy setup. It's super straightforward, totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started on your podcast or whatever you like to do. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Can I refill your eggnog for you? Get you something to eat? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere? Leave you for dead?
To clarify, you guys, you're probably like, you're drinking eggs? And it's like, yes, but no. At the same time, you are drinking eggs. But yes, but no. So...
custard, question mark?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. So... you're probably like, what is eggnog? Well, Tim pretty much described it. Eggnog, it's a rich, chilled, sweetened dairy-based beverage. Traditionally, it's made with milk, cream, sugar, egg yolks, and whipped egg whites, which gives it that frothy texture on top. And then usually served with cinnamon or nutmeg, some sort of spice. Those are usually the go-to. Cinnamon. I don't think I've ever had it with cinnamon or nutmeg.
What?
Yeah.
You haven't had eggnog then. I don't think you've actually had eggnog. Unfortunately, I don't think it counts now.
All
the times you've had it in the past doesn't count anymore.
Okay, we'll get back to that later. So, distilled spirits.
Hold on. I'm going to cut you off.
Cut me off.
You've never done nutmeg on top?
I'm sure I have. I don't like nutmeg like that. I probably have done cinnamon before.
But nutmeg adds that like peppery kind of. Oh,
no.
It's so good.
I've just not ever been a nutmeg gal.
I think cinnamon, what I like to do is when I buy the eggnog, I just pop a little cinny stick in that bad boy.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah, you just pop a little cinny stick in the little carton. You just let it ride, baby.
I like that way more than putting this.
It's always spiced up. You know what I mean? So
that's a good idea.
I think cinnamon's too fine to put on the drink. I've never liked it on top. And nutmeg's coarse. It's got coarseness to it. I prefer that doesn't get caught in my throat.
I agree with that. Which is why I'm not a nutmeg person.
Even though you don't like either way.
Yeah, well.
You can go on now.
I guess the nutmeg thing kind of goes hand in hand, but I will trade you the cinnamon stick for the actual ground up spice of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's the proper choice.
I'll trade off that. It's just like a weird thing of like alcohol, eggnog, and then like a I don't know. My brain's just not there. So anywho, speaking of alcohol, you can put brandy or rum or whiskey or bourbon added into your eggnog, so you can have it either.
Now, Elle.
Yes, Tim.
What is bourbon?
Alcohol.
So just to clarify, bourbon is based out of Bourbon.
That's a good definition.
Yeah, it's a good definition. Bourbon is whiskey. It's just whiskey from Kentucky. it's a sweeter whiskey. It's got extra sweetness, but specifically, bourbon is from Kentucky. Yeah, and it's really America's whiskey. Truly, bourbon is. Because whiskey didn't start here. Bourbon did, though. So it's just a form of whiskey, though.
But you said you prefer whiskey, right? That's what you put in your...
I put whiskey in mine. I put whiskey, and then I put an orange liqueur in it as well.
Mmm.
Ooh, orange, cinnamon, and whiskey.
I was going to say, this is like an old-fashioned situation, almost. But with the creams...
I mean, orange and cinnamon just work really well together.
I agree.
Right? Orange and spices like that, it works really well. So, add a little... Spice up your fucking eggnog. Add a little bit of a
spice up your life.
Add a little bit of orange liqueur in there.
Okay.
Not the blue kind. That'll be weird looking. Just the normal.
That's another tip for the evening.
Yeah, another Tim cocktail tips.
That's a great tip.
The book is coming together. It's really
clearly.
Yeah, we're on page 3, and I got 200 more to go, but it's getting there.
So it'll be on your brick shelf soon, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a great holiday gift next year.
You guys can pre-order now. Just go to the website.
Yeah. Pre-order now. It might
Wordisfood.com.
come, might not. Who knows? But if you pre-order now, put your name as credit.
Yeah.
You
heard it here
that's
first.
what fraudulent people do. That's what fraudulent people do, right? They give fake goals for people to buy.
Oh, no, they do.
And they don't ever
oh, yeah, I guess it's never panned out. And it's like, it never was
fulfill.
it? Never was going to pan out. That's so funny. That's not what this is, though.
Cheese sandwiches, anyone?
Pimento cheese, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious. So, friend of the pod, Alton Brown, he says that based on its ingredients, he agrees with you, Tim, eggnog is almost identical to ice cream. It's technically just a stirred custard made of milk and egg.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just like a liquid custard. Yeah, that never freeze, essentially. So, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you could freeze it.
You could freeze it. That's a good point. Yeah, you could freeze that.
Yeah, when people people that don't have never tried eggnog, I just tell them, like, it's literally just like drinking custard. It's just like a melted ice cream. Mm-hmm. It's delicious.
I think it also melts people's brains, though. Literally, that custard is custard and ice cream. They're two different things, but
they are two different things. You are correct.
Yeah, we don't even know that though. Yeah. But it was later on in life that I learned that too, though. So I was definitely a part of that, and I was like, oh.
And usually we denote that it would be like frozen custard, as opposed to like, because custard doesn't always get frozen. I mean, creme brulee is a custard.
Maybe some creme brulee.
Eggnog is a custard. So like custards can come in many different forms. Sometimes they are straight up just used as a sauce, right? Like you just make like a custard sauce, and it's this sweet, thick, creamy sauce. Deliciousness. That's very eggy and delicious. So
that's all
I love custard. I would die on custard. I'm pretty sure I've said that on the podcast
good.
Before.
Put that on the t-shirt too. Well, yeah, absolutely. Custard's really good. So yeah, that's essentially what eggnog is. And I thought it was a fun little fact. Eggnog has some also known as, and I've never heard eggnog referred to either of these things before. So it can either be referred to as milk punch or egg milk punch when alcoholic beverages are added, which makes zero sense to me. But
I love that. That's its name. From
milk punch. I'm just calling it milk punch.
Egg milk punch.
It's pretty straightforward though, so I do appreciate that.
Yeah. It's not creative at all.
Compared to eggnog. So culinary historians like us debate its exact lineage, but most agree eggnog originated from the early medieval Britain posset, a hot, milky ale-like drink. So this is where we're getting kind of the origins of eggnog. So it's made with hot milk, and it was curdled with wine or ale, and then flavored with spices. Tim's face right now. Yeah. In the middle,
the wine threw me.
The wine threw.
Like,
well,
did it specify like red or white, or is it just was it just like any fucking wine, buddy, whatever you're feeling?
Think in the zone of like mulled wine, so like usually like a red wine,
like a port.
Yeah,
like a port wine.
Some spices. Sheesh. Yeah, it was a hot one. I do want to just make this point now because I think it's just really hit me in general. Like, it's kind of incredible the stories that have made through history and time, especially in the Middle Ages and from actually probably the beginning of time, because everyone was just drunk, I think, up until like the 20th century.
Yeah, we drank so much.
We drank all the time. I mean, like,
yeah.
there were
Those
like,
fucking teetotalers, man. They
dude,
really ruined
they
the
really,
goddamn party.
they really, literally, didn't they though? Like,
Fucking A.
you know, it would be normal to have like a beer in the morning with your breakfast. You know. You'd go have like a martini or like an old fashioned at lunch. That was like a norm.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we've talked a little bit about, like, you know, we had some previous bonus stuff where, you know, we kind of dived into different cocktails and different beers and stuff. But one thing that always struck me so much was, I think the old fashioned one specifically, was how, like, it got its start because it was a like drink that people would get during lunchtime. And they wanted something that they could have on lunch that would mellow as it goes, type stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like so interesting how that was. And I listened to some, you know, some creators that live in like London and shit, other podcasts, stuff like that. And, you know, they'll talk about how like for lunchtime they just go to the pub and like get a drink, have some lunch, have a beer, and then go back to work. And it's like, America, what are we doing?
What are we doing here? Why are we doing this?
That's a totally fine thing to do. You're not getting fucked up on a beer.
Yeah, no.
A fucking 4.5%er? Like, come on, man.
No.
Like,
you're just gonna go back to whatever you're doing, your whatever job, and you're just gonna feel a little bit more relaxed. But you're
gonna
not
feel way
impaired.
better. Because the dopamine's gonna be kicked in because you just had a nice beer.
You just had a nice drink.
Yeah, that was a good point.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just don't understand. Like, I mean, we didn't need to stop that.
Yeah, I mean, we know where we went wrong because we've talked about it on the podcast before. But yeah, you know.
But yeah, it's fine. So yeah, it was wine or ale. So again, I guess you could go the ale route if the wine thing was but it's still the hot milk situation.
Maybe we should try this.
Okay, we will. We can do a taste test of this. Okay.
We should try it.
I'm weary, but I will try it. I'll do it by like the sink. But yeah, we can. Yeah.
I'm so interested.
Okay, that works for me. So, in the Middle Ages, posset was used as a cold and flu remedy, which we've seen from so many drink mixtures that are like this throughout history. They're first usually starting out as like a way to feel better, a way to ridden your cold symptoms. But yeah,
turns out alcohol just makes you feel good.
Yeah, of course you felt better. Like you were just hammered for
oh my god,
your entire day.
Wine. It's cocoa wine. That's why does this drink make me feel so good? I don't know, fucking Becky. You just did a line of cocaine and you're drunk on port.
Multiple lines of cocaine. Your body can physically only handle 2, so it's a good thing you just ingested 5 lines worth plus alcohol. So take that for what you will. That's why you were feeling great, bud.
Yeah.
That's actually really
That's why you're feeling great, little Timmy, 5-year-old sucking down a fucking ale.
You know what? Like, people say, like, oh, this generation, like, they're so sad. And it's like, well, yeah, because you took all the Quaaludes. That's how you were living your entire, I mean, you were going just doped up, drinking alcohol, taking your uppers. It makes sense.
Yeah,
you guys took all the
now all we get is fucking fentanyl and drug shortages.
Like, what? That's not cool. That's not fun.
It's not.
No, drugs aren't cool, but use responsibly.
Drugs aren't cool.
You're if you're a
do
grown
whatever
adult,
the fuck you want.
Yeah, you're a grown adult. Like you can make your own informed decisions. Like I'm not about to tell you to do. Well, I am not that person.
Yeah, do whatever you want. And you know what? And if you're a child, do whatever your parents tell you.
I didn't know where that was going, and I was about to be like, oh.
Yeah, do you think I was going to condone child drug usage on the podcast, Al? Is that what you thought? No faith.
Listen to your parents and say in school.
Yeah, no faith.
And you can find a trade after high school. You know, okay. Yeah. Anyways, enough with our like dare messaging.
Don't go to college.
Look at us. No, okay. From that time, then it was popular from the posset, by the way. It was popular from the medieval times. Medieval. I'm not drunk yet. Times to the 19th century. Eggs were added to some posset recipes, and by the 13th century, it was said that monks were known to drink a posset with eggs and figs.
Okay,
isn't that fun?
Man, that one sounds good.
That one sounds good.
We should do the original recipe, but add like I don't know What do you think? It would probably be like 4 to 6 eggs. It's a custard, so it's got to be a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
And then we just buy like a fig jam. Just throw fig jam in that bad boy with some with a cine stick.
It may not be bad.
I'm just saying we
It
gotta try
actually
it.
may not be bad. I would be down to try it. I was a little hesitant at first, but it's probably not
I'm
that
still
bad.
very hesitant. It sounds awful, but I'll try it. It's just a fucking wine is
Ooh.
throwing me, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so eggnog took the turn that like most foods take at this point in the timeline because sugar is expensive, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
just readily available. It doesn't matter if you're not really matter. I mean, it does kind of matter, but like anywhere you are, like these are expensive items. So it's like alcohol. So like milk, eggs, and sherry were foods of the wealthy. So originally eggnog was used like if you were going to drink it, it was usually in terms of toasting to prosperity and good health, like special occasions. People weren't just like, to Tim's point, you weren't just having eggnog like anytime, anytime.
Yeah.
Like
turns out supermarkets didn't exist for a while.
turns out refrigeration, like what was that?
Yeah, wasn't a fucking thing.
We weren't even preserving.
You know what? You guys leave your fucking eggnog out of the fridge and see how well that goes for
Oh
you.
my gosh. Please.
Little fucking
Wipes
dose
available.
of 21st century for you.
Absolutely not. Technology in
You'd be
its
like,
modern
"Damn,
model.
Yeah, 21st century is kind of cool. Okay.
That's wild. There's things. Yeah, no, it is kind of fun to take the time to kind of take those moments of like, oh yeah.
Not to be like toxically positive. Like there's obviously shit that we still have to deal with, but you know what I mean? But like
Agreed.
just sometimes just, take a moment and look around and recognize the amazing structures and institutions that exist to, I don't know, make your life easy.
Yeah, like it. Yeah,
Modern civilization's kind of incredible.
kind
when you
of
think
cool.
about it.
Like it's actually pretty impressive. I like that. You zoom out. Okay, so usually
Yeah, let's zoom out.
zoom out.
Or what's the other one? No, that's right. I think that's right. Let's zoom out, and I think that's right.
I think that's right. So usually, Tim, you're the etymology guy. You're the word guy.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm gonna try. Oh no, I'm gonna try my hand at it today.
Awesome.
It's time to get funky. Like any good.
Oh, is that
any good food? Yeah.
Is that the word we're doing?
No, we're not.
Funky?
Like any good food, eggnog is debated, right? It's got a tumultuous background in this. So, according,
Great word.
Thank
Great
you.
word.
Thank you. Put 25 cents in the jar. Thank you. According
Yeah,
to the
great
Oxford
word.
English Dictionary, nog was a type of beer brewed in East England, and allegedly the first known use of the word nog was in 1693.
Really?
Yeah. It could also be that nog may stem from noggin, a Middle English term for a small carved wooden mug used to serve alcohol.
I was gonna say. I would have thought that the word nog would reference the little wooden object before some drink. So it's up in the air of which one was kind of first.
Which one was
Is
first?
that yeah?
Speaking of
Interesting.
air, because that's fun. Apparently, the British also called a drink an egg flip.
Oh.
So there's two things on this because I was like, what in the world? So Middle English, it's not like Lord of the Rings referencing here. Like Middle English, it's a language referred to. It was spoken in 1150 to 1500. Pretty much, it was spoken post the Norman Conquest. And I was like, what's the Norman Conquest? By the end of the period, and by the help of the printing press, by your boy Johannes Gutenberg in 1493, a standard based on the London dialects, Chancery Standard, is established. And this right here in Soulja Boy voice is largely formed basis for modern English spelling. Also fun little fun fact. Norman Conquest was the invasion and occupation of England by an army made up of Norman, Britons, Flemish, and French troops. Like, England was deep, dude. They were,
Yeah.
I would say England.
Yeah.
Europe was deep, yeah. All led by the Duke of Normandy, later styled William the Conqueror or William the Bastard.
Okay.
Cool. Second thing, let's talk about that egg flip. So, a flip, that was a term first used in 1695 to describe a mixture of beer, rum, and sugar. Not bad. And then that was
Okay.
all heated with a red hot iron. The iron caused the
Okay.
drink to froth, and then over time, eggs were added to the proportion, and the sugar proportion also increased. Then the beer was slowly eliminated from the mixture completely. And then with time, the distinction between eggnog, a spirit, egg, cream, sugar, and spice, versus a flip, a spirit, egg, sugar, spice, but no cream, was gradually codified in U.S. bar guides.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no clue.
That's insane.
No clue. So technically, yeah.
What a journey for the term eggnog.
We're not done
Milk
yet.
punch. My bad.
Milk punch.
Sorry.
We're not done yet with milk punch. Waiting for the right hook on that one. So allegedly, the term eggnog was an American term introduced in 1775, consisting of the words egg and nog, with nog meaning strong ale, which would make sense.
So what you're saying is that the creation of the term eggnog led to the independence of our country.
Well, you're telling me.
Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean,
Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not gonna lie. I said allegedly because there's a lot of stuff happening in the United States at that time, but like I don't feel like it'd be far off to say causation correlation.
I think that's exactly what happened. I think we were like, hey, there's this dope. Jefferson was like, yo, did you guys try this new dope thing? I'm calling it eggnog.
Okay.
I'm giving Jefferson the credit.
No, I was about to say, well, okay, you want to talk about forefathers here. So apparently, legend had that George Washington just had a sick eggnog recipe, and he would have people over. Him and Martha would just like throw ragers and be like, you guys want some eggnog? And apparently
I bet it was, you know what? I bet it was fucking Martha's recipe.
Probably.
How about that?
It was probably Martha and the slaves that were working in the
It was probably Martha's recipe. You know, because Martha was a bad bitch. You know what I mean? So
bad bitch from a decent home. Yeah. So so that's probably what happened. Apparently Washington was just like, the Washingtons were just out here throwing eggnog parties, and like people were vibing with them. But back across the pond we go to our to our favorite Britons. So
and they're pissed.
They're pissed
because we just started the revolution because we created the word eggnog.
We've now
little known fact is Jefferson wrote down that you know, this country is defined by men who drink eggnog, and that's the first line of whatever he ever in his first writing ever known to mankind. And then in 1776, the year following, that's right, Jefferson didn't write anything down until 1775. In 1776, when he helped write the Declaration of Independence,
and the mac and cheese
at the very bottom, if you Nicolas Cage it in National Treasure with like I don't know, with like a lemon juice, it's his invisible piss ink.
What a move!
Pulls up the whole eggnog. It's just his eggnog. It's nothing else.
If that movie comes out in 2022, I can't tell you how many people start carrying around lemon juice and start squirting it on government documents. Anyways,
that movie sucked.
Okay, no. I
didn't mean to derail us with my fucking stupid Jefferson eggnog bit. Let's move on. We're going back across the pond.
Treasure is good. Okay, anyways, so here in Britain, the locals switched to more widely available alcohol or hard cider to make their mulled beverages. During the Victorian era, Britain's drank...
The general vicinity of the Victoria.
In the area of the time, Victoria, Canada. Britons drank Pearl, a mixture of gin, warm beer, sugar, bitter herbs, and spices.
Okay.
Not up my alley, yeah.
That's also not the same.
No. In the colonial era in America, the drink was transformed into an ale and rum-based flip, warmed with a hot poker. So
why are we sticking pokers in our fucking cups?
We probably like the noise that it makes when it...
It's the sizzler plates.
And then it changes.
Colonial
it
times.
frosts. It's like, oh wow, magic. That's the closest thing we've got.
Wow, magic. Yeah.
Right, magic. You're a wizard, Harry.
That's magic, isn't it?
Isn't it? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's magic. I apologize to...
I'm so sorry.
To anyone that may listen to this that doesn't sound like a bunch of American assholes.
I was gonna say, we poke fun at our own because it's like, it's fine. It's all good fun.
Yeah.
It's all good fun. Yeah, isn't it? No, okay. Okay.
Isn't it? So it's fun, isn't it?
We're taking a turn. So at this point...
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Sorry.
brandy and wine are heavily taxed. Rum from the Atlantic slave trade with the Caribbean became a substitute. The inexpensive liquor, coupled with farm and dairy products, again, also inexpensive, available to colonists, helped the drink become popular in America. When the supply of rum to the newly founded United States was reduced as a consequence of, we've referenced it tonight, the American Revolutionary War, Americans turned to domestic whiskey and eventually bourbon in place as a substitute. In places in the American colonies where bourbon was too expensive, homemade moonshine spirits were added to eggnog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gross. Moonshine's still disgusting. It's a really bad alcohol. Terrible. How big of a bummer not to have rum or whiskey.
It was expensive. But
Yeah, I know. I get it.
I get it. I'm like, where is moonshine? It's like here. The deep South colonies were making moonshine.
Right.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know.
If you weren't close enough to Kentucky, then you had to do the shine.
In 1878, the Modern Bartender's Guide lists many variant names for the drink. It distinguishes plain eggnog to egg milk punch and milk punch. So we've got our three drinks. In 1892, Scientific Journal article in the United States proposes the use of eggnog to treat what, Tim? The flu.
To treat COVID-19.
That's not a bad idea. I think I'll drink more eggnog. So we've pretty much come to the circle that is eggnog, because at this point, but there's a fun little story about eggnog that I already
told that. I already told that. Jefferson. Yeah, I already told that.
I already told that.
What are we doing?
I was shocked that eggnog had this history, this little anecdote in its history.
Okay.
We're in 1826.
You said 1826 or 1926?
We're 1826.
1826.
For the eggnog riot or the grog riot.
That's what I like to hear.
Come with us. We're in West Point, New York.
New York.
We're at the United States Military Academy.
Hold on, where are we at? We at West Point?
We're at West Point.
We're at West Point, New York? All right, that sounds great. What year is it? 1928? 1826?
1826.
All right.
Yankees haven't won their rings yet.
Are you talking shit about the Yankees?
Hey, no 27 rings yet, bro. Come on.
Talking shit about the Yankees? They won all their rings before 1823 or whatever the fuck. What year we at? 1826? I've actually lost it because I'm doing a bit.
Yeah, we're in 1826 right? at the U.S. Military Academy with the future leaders of America. So that's where we're at right now. So there was a huge concern with the upper rankings that the cadets were drinking too much. So they were informed that due to their alcohol prohibition on campus, their Christmas this year, especially their Christmas eggnog, would be alcohol-free.
Oh.
Wow. And it's like, all right, so naturally what happens when you tell a bunch of college-age, probably less students, no alcohol? They smuggle the liquor. They smuggle the liquor into the U.S. Military Academy.
Yeah.
Gallons.
Hey, Johnny, did you fucking put the liquor up your ass like I told you to?
Hey.
Did you put the liquor up there? We had to get it in. You were you drew the short straw. Don't give me that. You put the liquor up your ass, didn't you? That's what the conversation was.
That's how they smuggled it. So gallons of whiskey were smuggled into the barracks to make eggnog for the Christmas Day party, right? So this,
Johnny.
Quote, leads to a drunken free-for-all for all windows and furnitures and crockery were smashed, banisters were torn from walls, and fights broke out. One eggnog-addled cadet tried but failed to shoot his commanding officer. Wild, right? This incident resulted in court-martialing of 70 cadets and one enlisted soldier. Neither the young Jefferson Davis or Robert E. Lee, those guys who were in attendance of the eggnog riots, were found guilty of any offenses or expelled. We really liked eggnog.
That's amazing.
A lot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Johnny, you did a good service.
You did a great job.
I misfired. I almost got the guy, but I'm glad you brought that alcohol.
And it's fine, because a lot of those guys ended up, they did kind of get in trouble, but they ended up serving the U.S. Confederate Army and went on to be federal judges. So, I don't think it really affected them too much.
No, I think they were fine.
Yeah, they were fine. But yeah,
they made good decisions afterward.
Absolutely. Yeah, clearly. Great judgment. So that about rounds out our holiday wreath when it comes to eggnog. I mean, I wanted to also note that there are variations of eggnog around the world.
Yay!
Yeah.
I like around the world.
Yeah, let's go around the world.
variations.
So Mexico adopted the eggnog variety rompomp, and then Puerto Rico enjoys the coquito, where it's rum and fresh coconut juice or coconut milk instead, which I'm sure it's really delicious.
I'm doing the Italian hands.
Which keep that in
because
mind.
That sounds fire.
Delicious,
Oh, the Italians
right?
got one. Tell me
Kind
the
of.
Italians
The coconut,
are out
the
here
coconut.
making fucking.
Ponche crema, that's made and consumed in Venezuela and Trinidad since the 1900s. In Peru, eggnog's called Biblia con pisco, and it's made with the Peruvian Pommes brandy called pisco. Eyer punch is a German version of eggnog made with white wine, eggs, sugar, cloves, tea, lemon or lime juice, and cinnamon. And then in Iceland, it's pretty much like presented and served as a dessert at the end of your
Okay.
dinner time.
And in Iceland, they throw cabbage in it for some reason.
But you know, I would like people who live globally, because we do have that in our audience, to like let us know if you have eggnog and if there's actually another name that you refer to it as.
Yeah, like egg milk punch.
Egg milk punch. Still a fabulous name for it. Tim, I know you were wondering, like, what about people with dietary concerns? How do they enjoy?
Fuck 'em.
How do they enjoy? How do they enjoy this holiday delight? I was kind of curious though, because like
They drink holiday nog.
Oh, it
That's
gets
what they
better.
drink.
Oh, it gets better. Okay. 1899, Almeda Lambert, in her guide to nut cookery, or for nut cookery, my apologies, gave a recipe for eggnog using coconut cream, eggs, and sugar.
Okay.
Not bad, right? I would maybe
Yeah.
drink that.
How does that make you feel that, like, all the way back in 1899, our dairy alternatives were things like coconut?
It makes me giggle. It makes me laugh so much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get enjoyment out of that because I'm like, you guys are acting like all of this is brand new, and it's like, actually,
Yeah, we've been doing that.
we've
for
been doing this.
centuries.
Yeah. So it really makes me laugh a lot. In 1981, Redwood Valley Soy Foods Unlimited, California, introduced soy nog, the earliest soy-based non-dairy and vegan eggnog based off of soy milk and tofu, which was added for thickness. And then it was renamed Light Nog in 1982, and then in 1985, Tofu Nog.
Okay, and then in 1986, they threw it all in a big fucking dumpster and sent that dumpster to the middle of the ocean.
And that was that.
That shit is disgusting.
Which
it's terrible.
it brings me to like the commercialized side of like milk punch eggnog, and how it's produced.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to be wary of commercialized eggnog, at least in the United States, because the U.S. Food and Drug Administration permits the drink can be made from as little as 1% egg yolk. So at that point, you're just drinking like flavored milk, which is, I mean, good, but it's not
You know,
eggnog.
listen, yeah. If it's thick enough, then it's all right with me. You just kind of got to roll with it.
You just
know
roll
what
with
I mean?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like modern
It's
commercial.
a texture. It's really the texture thing, man. And so many of those alternatives, they just don't get the fucking texture right.
No, the biggest thing is
Like,
the
they
gelatin.
just do not get the texture right. Chobani has a holiday nog now.
Oh, I'm
and
sure it's so
like
thick.
kinda-
No.
It's not at all actually. It's really thin.
Oh.
It's super medium. Yeah, all of them are just really watery, mediocre.
Oh, okay,
Trash.
okay. Yeah, I don't want that.
Nope, trash.
So I spoke about mulled wine earlier, and I want to bring it back to that because mulled wine, it's a holiday drink. Again, origins come from our old friends, the Greeks and the Romans.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet and special.
Shout out to the Romans.
Shout
coming
out
back
to them.
Around.
Yeah, always.
Coming back around.
Coming back around.
Season 4, Year of the Romans.
Every time. Never fails. So, Tim, you
They
gave.
failed for like 2 seasons, I think. But yeah.
It's fine. We're coming back. They're always going to make an
bringing them
appearance.
back.
They're always going to
comeback
sprinkle
story.
in. Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's not an underdog story. It's a undervalued champion story. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Where did I just see that quote earlier? Didn't someone just...
I think Brendan Fraser said something about
Thank
it.
you.
Said
Okay.
Adam Sandler
We
or
love
something.
friend of
Yeah.
the pod, Brendan Fraser.
I think it was something like that.
It
I probably
was. It
horribly
was.
misquoted him.
No.
And I super apologize to Brendan Fraser for that. He's the best. No, that's in. Love you.
Brendan, yeah, we love Brendan Fraser.
And you know what,
Thank
Adam?
you.
I love you too, man.
Thank you, guys. I don't know why they can't see my heart, but I am sending love to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearts to you guys.
Hearts to you guys. Appreciate it. So yeah, Tim, you gave Eggnog Milk Punch 8 out of 12 eggs.
Yeah,
Are we completing the dozen? You walk like what's going on here? We got a few broken eggshells.
No, I'm not gonna give it the perfect dozen. I'm gonna go up to 10.
Oh, okay. I think I'll take that.
I want to keep its weight. I want to keep the fact that, like, no matter what, it has an incredible history. I really had fun with it, obviously. I think it's a very fun, like, food to dive into, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
But I still have to keep my weight of the fact that doesn't change, that I'm just not going to drink it outside of kind of that deep winter holiday time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
That's a great
it's
point.
Just not, it's just not ever going to be something.
No.
I'm like in the middle of summer, like, man, I could go make an eggnog cocktail right now. It's like, I'm not going to do that ever. So, but a 10 out of 12 for me, for sure.
Heck yeah. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that 10 out of 12, and I will for sure try the Southern Comfort Eggnog.
Yeah, it's great. I'm going to do a quick news segment of the podcast called My Favorite Parts. No, so give us some structure at the end of this shit. No, my favorite part. So when we went into the etymology of it all, so much of that revealed its history, though, which was really fun. Like, I always like when it's not just like when it's not just like where did the word come from, but just diving into where the word come from reveals where it actually came from.
Yeah.
You know, it's like oh no, like this is like, it's always nice when it's an actual like it's like a part of the actual process of making it, as opposed to, which, I mean, mustard, like, is one that comes to mind where it's more so we have these other words that exist that resemble the flavor profile, so then we called it that. And that's cool, but I do enjoy, like, how sometimes the history is just straight up like, where did the word come from? And it ends up enveloping like 80% of the history of it, which is fun. So that was my favorite part of the podcast.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
I appreciate that.
That's the end of that news segment. My favorite part. Did you want to add anything else? Any final thoughts? Or a new segment? L's final thoughts.
Oh wow,
L, take it away.
Final thoughts. Dun, dun. Milk punch. That's fun. That's really cool. I like that.
Good
idea.
final thoughts, L. That's the end of L's segment. Final thoughts. I think we've said all we need to say, right? I was just putting you on the spot.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh no.
I was just being an asshole. All right, guys, that's the end of the podcast. That's the end of the podcast. Welcome to the end of the podcast. So, kind of a thing that we do with this podcast is every season we have a new theme song. If you've been listening to this podcast since its inception, you'll say, well, season 1 and 2 had the same theme song. And to that I say, shut up. And don't question me. No, I didn't come up with that shtick at the end of season 2 and thought it would be fun to do from there on out. It was always the plan, and I just suck. So, no, but we do new theme songs every season, and this year's theme song was made in part by me, but also our good buddy, Austin Martin. He's a good bud. He helped make the wonderful music you're listening to now and at the beginning and during all the stingers. So you should go find him on Spotify
Absolutely.
and Apple under Meridian Sky. You can find those links in the show notes. You can just click on that. Yeah. Go have a listen to him and find him. Find him out and about. DM him, even if you DM him.
That's a good
Nothing
idea.
Crude.
Yeah.
Nice things.
Nice things, because he's done a phenomenal
I'm kidding.
job.
I'm kidding. Don't DM people. Don't be
Okay,
weird.
don't do that. I lied. Don't do. I don't. It's like.
Don't be weird. Don't DM us either. No, I'm kidding. Guys, you can find us. You can find us on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah. At Where Does Food. I'm at Tim Wehunt.
I'm at El Chapo with 3 underscores in between L and Chapo.
Yeah, and again, you can find all those links as well in the show notes. You can click through to that. Yeah, you can check us out at wheredoesfood.com. We have a website. You go there, list the episodes. We have a little blurb about how we started and why we started this thing. You can also find us on anchor.fm/where-does-food. Yeah, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts, you can catch us on there as well.
Pretty cool.
We are on the catchers, but yeah, you can find the RSS feed at anchor.fm/where-does-food. You can also support us. We have a supporter button. You can click on that bad boy, throw us some change. It always just helps us, have a reason to do this. It can help us. It also can help us upgrade some stuff on the back end, whether that be equipment or just, website maintenance, shit like that. That stuff does cost money.
Useful things.
Yeah, it's just small little things like that help. Just give you guys clarity about what you're supporting and not be weird and obscure about it. That's really what it is.
Transparency.
That and Elle's insane new chain that she's wearing for tonight's podcast.
LOL.
It's just
I put
like
it away.
Imagine the clock of
Flavor
what's his face?
Flav.
Flavor Flav. Imagine that, but her entire body. It's insane. It is wild.
Body chain? No.
Yeah, it's insane. So you're paying for that, really.
Does your chain hang low?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, it's
Does
hanging
it wobble
low.
to the flow?
It's got its own gravitational pull and things. What else? I've been making
No, that was it. Yeah.
goofs and gabs all day. Goodness gracious. Rate and review us if you like the
Yeah.
podcast. Rate and review us. Also, here's something you could do if you don't want to give us money.
What's him?
Tell people
Oh,
about us.
that's a good idea.
Or here's something else you could do.
Yeah?
That's savagery. This is what you can really do to people. I do this all the time at work.
Oh, okay.
Not with my own podcast because that's
Oh.
stupid. But with podcasts I like, I'll just put it on.
Oh.
And they have to listen to it.
That's a good
So
idea.
if you're into us,
Throw it on him.
DM me. I am free. No.
We'll do birthdays and
if
bar
you-
mitzvahs,
Yeah, if you're into us,
weddings.
and you're on like a road trip or whatever, and you have
Oh, yeah.
someone next to you
We've got plenty of
on the
material
road
for
trip,
that.
just fucking put it on.
Throw it on. You guys are, yeah.
Force them to listen, and we can gain a fan that way. So that's the real goat move if you're a fan of the show. It's to force your friends, family, and coworkers to listen
Yeah.
to the podcast you like.
Heck of a
Yeah, that's
marketing
big
strategy.
help. That's the end
Yeah.
of my shout outs and this episode of Where Does Food or Where Does Eggnog. Beep, 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 beep. That's all, folks. Nailed it, right?
That was it.